Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to Car Question. Matt is real happy because I'm riding the new Jeep Wrangler and it brings back memories when I used to host the show Tuning 4x4, which was a friend show back here in Quebec City. That's why I love so much off-road. So this new GL 2 doors, 4 doors, unlimited package, Rubicon package is really unique in its segment. This is one of the most capable machines that you can buy. And how about that resale value? Everybody loves Jeep. How about you guys? So a new redesign was more than welcome, with the model getting old but still being that popular. So when you look at the exterior, the first thing that you're going to say to yourself, what's the big change? Doesn't seem to have much change. Well, guess what? It's completely new under the body, but they kept the Jeep styling. They kept that kind of cool looking, boxy feeling of it. They kept the original design that was used in the Army way back then. So I really love the styling of it with the new addition of LED headlights. Those are nice because you turn on the light of a Jeep and guess what? It was just like a candle with the older model. But with that one, finally you can see something. And yes, if you got your high beam, somebody will tell you that you're blinding them. So be careful with that, guys. It's real powerful. Otherwise, you've got also that LED right there on the fender, which is acting as daytime running lights. You've got more refined lines, and you can also pull down the windshield. When you remove the doors, remove the top, there you go, full convertible mode. And that's what I like. And even if you pull down your windshield, you still got your mirror, which is going to be essential for you to view. Otherwise, in certain state, you need to make sure that you've got mirrors on the side of the truck. So you need to buy some aftermarket kit. So you've got the LED lights at the rear, also the position of the tire, the rear view camera, which is right there in the middle. How about those wheels, those side step that you see? I kind of really like the Jeep. And finally, also 2 nozzles right there on the top compared to one, which was always getting into ice, always not working in the bad temperature. But they still have the problem that you've got so small wipers, the visibility is not that impressive. But still, it's a machine that you've got great attack angle, departure angle, a great ground clearance. And how about the place to bring your family along? So this is kind of cool. And how about a full spare tire right there in the rear if some things happen? You can even go for the new and easy to use Sky One Touch Power Top, 2 hard tops, and a premium soft top. So that's a lot of choice, that's a lot of customization. You will get a thumbs up from the Jeep fan and the other Jeep driver around you. Otherwise, the interior, finally some new stuff because it used to be dated, but it's all rugged. All the buttons are rubber. Everything, even the start button, is going to resist to any mud that you will have on your finger, ice, snow, name it. A big screen with the model that I have right now, digital stuff. A new look is more than welcome. And you even got some auxiliary switch. All-weather mats, all-weather, easy to clean. That's what I like also. Even the key, look at that original key. It's kind of impressive. But you still got those unpleasant stuff that they carried around, you know, the connectors to the door will rub your ankle. You will feel also the side of the door with your knees. But otherwise, it's great to have a new makeover with that inside. The space in the rear, if you've got the unlimited model, is not too bad. You've got a great trunk also. You've got an awesome sound system, and you've got that Uconnect system, which is the 4th generation, that will include Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Depending on the version though, you will have 5, 7, or 8.4 inches touchscreen with the pinch and zoom capability. You've got that unique shifter with the logo. We have the part-time four-wheel drive. You've got some little addition, you know, when you're gonna start since 1941 right there in the digital cluster. And you will also see when you go off-road that little phrase saying that you won't get stuck with that machine. But depends on the driver, huh? You got to be careful when you go off-road, guys. And with those off-road pages, you got the possibility to see the roll angle, the pitch, and the four-wheel drive information system. It's cool to have, but they still should have offered more unique stuff inside that system because it takes a long time to load and it's just only showing that. So let's talk about the engine, 3.6 liter V6, the one that we are testing right now, good for 285 horsepower, 260 pound-feet of torque. Feels like the old engine, nothing new to that. It's a good thing that they combine a 6-speed or an 8-speed all-new transmission to that engine. And you can also go for the 4-cylinder turbo, 270 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque. With that unique e-torque system, remember I talked about it with the review that we did with the Ram. It's nearly the same thing. You remove the alternator. It's not really a hybrid with a big battery. It's only to give you that little oomph, that little boost, more torque, but it doesn't really count. But it's going to help your fuel efficiency. Talking about a rare engine, I wonder if we will have it because of all those diesel scandal. Even happened to FCA, Audi paid the price, Volkswagen, name it. So diesel doesn't have a good press right now in North America and even in Europe. So will we have the 3.0 liter diesel, that big engine which is going to be able to give you 260 horsepower and 442 pound-feet of torque? That's amazing for a rock crawling machine. So you've got the V6, which is going to be for your Badger run, and you will have the Eco Diesel, which is going to be for your rock climbing. So will we have it? I don't know. Will towing capacity be improved? I'm not sure. So they say it 2019. Will it happen? I don't know. Who wants to place bet on that right there in the comment section down there below? So the transmission, I said it earlier, 8-speed or 6-speed, completely new. I really love the manual when it comes to off-road. It makes me feel more in control, but still that 8-speed transmission will be more fuel efficient. But if you choose the 4-cylinder, too bad, you've got to go with the 8-speed transmission. 4x4 system. Well, you've got a transfer case, 4-wheel drive system, which is called the Command-Trac NV241. It's part-time, shift-on-the-fly transfer case. You simply pull it, go into auto mode, you move it to the side, you go in for high, part-time as they call it, and you put your shifter into neutral and you can go into low-range mode. You will have a Selec-Trac full-time transfer case, always going to be in 4-wheel drive, but you will have the possibility to shift from high to low when you want with the press of a button, but still always 4-wheel drive. And if you go for the Rubicon, you know, that master machine off-road power, well, this one will have the rock track. So it's the same NV241, but with a 4.0 low gear ratio. So when you put it into low range, wow, that's gonna climb real slowly, good engine RPM, you know, that kind of power that you need to go over those big rocks. It's such an angle, then you release the accelerator and boom, it goes. That's what we like with that ratio. So there's a ton of goodies with those 4x4, with those Jeep Wranglers. So if you go with the Command-Trac and the rock track, you will have those next generation Dana axle. You will have Trac-Lok electric front and rear axle locker for the Rubicon though. The Trac-Lok limited slip differential and 33 inches off-road tire. And you've got an amazing ground clearance with that machine. It's impressive. Ground clearance, approach angle, departure, breakover, name it. Unmatched crawl ratio with that rock track system, up to 30 inches of water fording and enough ground clearance to go over some rock. So we went off-road and we had a lot of fun with that stock machine, a stock Jeep Wrangler who went so far. I'm kind of impressed. 4-door, by the way. Let's talk about fuel consumption though. Well, you will use regular fuel, no problem for that, but you've got the start and stop feature, which is kind of annoying. The vibration, the sound that it makes, I only want to turn it off, only to save 1 liter per 100 for like, I don't know how many kilometers or hours of engine running. It's not impressive. They should have removed it. It's only looking good on paper. But if you go with the 2.0, 2 doors, 8-speed with a e-torque, 10 liter per 100, if you switch to a 4-door, 10.5 liter. If you go with the 3.6 2-door 8-speed or 6-speed, it doesn't matter, 11.8 combined. And if you go with the 4-door 6-speed manual, 12.2 liter, and the most fuel efficient with the 4-door is going to be mated to that 8-speed, rated at 11.7 liter per 100. But guess what? We didn't do that. We were far from that. 13, 14 feels like old school Jeep Wrangler territory without the improvement. So more fuel efficient, maybe we have a heavy feet. Or if you go out on the trails, you won't really feel that fuel efficiency, perhaps over a long time. But still, I'm not impressed with all the technology that they put in. But let's talk about the road ending of it. Acceleration, one of the fastest of its unique segment with the 2 doors. You've got good acceleration when you will want to pass a car or simply accelerate. The transmission is kind of reacting okay. And the sound of that engine, the V6, I've not tested the diesel or either the 4-cylinder, but still you got a great sound when you're accelerating, and that's what I like. Direction though is truck style. You will need to make a lot of correction even if you're on the highway. And too much correction sometimes leads to being tired for those long roads. How about in those harsh situations? That's not too bad. It's real easy to turn. Parking maneuvers, the same thing, but it's a typical Jeep feeling. And if you go too aggressive into some turns, that's not the most communicative one, I'm gonna tell you. How about the brakes? They're soft when you step on the pedal. Not really impressive once again. And it's not bad, but it's not consistent. Sometimes it feels great, sometimes it doesn't. Same thing for the braking distances. And you've got that nosedive and that nose high when you accelerate, which is kind of a real annoying all the time. And you've got that short seat base, so you're gonna move, you're gonna try to find your perfect position in some kind of way, but that's not gonna be impressive, but it's not consistent for the brake. Suspension, less bouncy than it used to be, less harsh than it used to be, but a four-door has always been more comfortable, so it still feels like a Wrangler though. Let's talk about off-road now. So how well does it do? Man, it's impressive, but with the configuration that I had with the automatic transmission, I really feel like that sometime it was playing me, you know, giving me more acceleration, braking one wheel really hard to give the power to the other one, and kind of remove that momentum that I really need. So that's why I prefer a manual transmission when I get into off-road, to keep the momentum, to keep the control of the truck. Otherwise, it was real impressive. We went into sand, and you can see that the truck was working with all its system to get me out of that bad sand hill that I have. And boy, was the sand heavy. It rained a lot of people rolled there. It's the most difficult situation for also OEM tires. And by the way, I know I should remove a lot of pressure in those tires, but hey, I just wanted to roll it OEM style, and it still impressed me with that power. Keep your momentum, but still, if you're getting into some rocks, once again, those tires are resistant. They were able to get a beating, and this is the ultimate machine that you want to go into some real deep stuff, into some real high stuff, into some real hard stuff, just like rocks. So this is one of the most capable machines that we ever tested. So we kind of push it hard for an OEM, and I must say that I'm impressed with the capability. And how about the diagonal test? I won't really spoil it before you watch the video, but do you think that we really need four-wheel drive to do that little hill? The answer might be no. How about the wheels? You know, the suspension travel always keep you in contact with the surface, so give you what you need. And this one doesn't have the optional rear locker, so it was even more impressive with how the system will keep your vehicle rolling with the maximum traction. Let's talk about towing capacity. So if you have a four-door, it's going to be 3,500 pounds. Feel like more 5,000 capable, but still, if you've got the two doors, it goes down to 2,000 pounds. I do not recommend to go over that, even if you got a strong Jeep. Security features are kind of restrained. You don't have a lot. Blind spot detection, rear cross traffic alert, parking sensor at the rear of the Jeep, but that's about it. You don't get a lot of new stuff like the other vehicle. And let's talk about the competition. Jeep once again is competing in its own segment. Can you identify me a machine which is so aggressive with the convertible capability? You can remove the door, fold down the windshield. There's no other vehicle like this one. So we have to make some room with our criteria to talk about the Jeep Cherokee, which is in the Trac-Lok version, really impressive also. So it's trail rated approved. Less powerful though, not as spacious as the Jeep, not as capable, but still impressive when it's gonna get dirty out there. You've got the Jeep Grand Cherokee Trac-Lok, way more comfortable, but a lot higher when it comes to price, when it comes to money. You're gonna spend a lot with that vehicle, but it's big comfort, but it's also one of the capable vehicles that you can bring in the mud. But bringing such a high-priced Grand Cherokee with all those tree branch on the side, hurting the paint, the sound that it makes, doesn't really please me. You've got a 4Runner. We did a review about the TRD Pro badge that they put on them, which is an amazing machine. Still, you cannot remove the roof like you used to do back in the old days. That was the cool days of the Runner, but you can still lower the rear, kind of great. But remember, with the dust coming back, well, you know what happens to a hatchback car? It gets dirty real quickly. So imagine if you pull down that one with the dirt, with the sand, it goes back right inside the cabin, and that's not what you want. We're gonna move out of the SUV territory and let's get into pickup truck. Matthew will say, why are you doing that? Because the ZR2, the Colorado, is an impressive off-road machine with the front locker, the rear lockers, the attack angle, the departure angle, the suspension, the Multimatic that they put on it. It's aggressive. And how about the choice of a gas engine and a diesel engine? It's a capable machine that can face a Jeep, but doesn't have the same turning circle when you get behind trees. But you've got the possibility to bring an ATV right there in the bed though. Same thing for the Tacoma TRD Pro, one of the most reliable machine out there, one of the most competitive machine when it comes to resale value, also right there with the Jeep. So the TRD Pro badges add a Fox suspension, a snorkel, which would look cool on the Jeep Wrangler, but remember, it's not meant to go into water. So the TRD Pro is reliable over time. That's what we like also, but it's Toyota approved. Still, they would need more aggressive tire to be sure that they make it out of the mud, just like a Wrangler will do easily. So you've got some more luxurious machine also that you can choose. How about Land Rover? The Discovery might be big, but still a capable one. So the Evoque is much more of a luxury city truck. So the Jeep is really in the unique segment of a convertible, ultimate off-roader, and family carrier also. Well, if you've got more than 2 children, you're doomed, but still you can bring the dog along. So minus points and plus points. So first of all, the same windshield that gets so dirty so quickly over time. The small wipers, the rocks that you will get, will you break more with this version than the previous one? That's going to be another bet that we could take. But still, it gets dirty so fast in the winter. Get ready, get a lot of washer fluid. You know, if you're a Jeep owner, you know what I'm talking about. Visibility on the gauges right there in the central cluster. When I'm driving, I've got a more up position, and it removes me the vision of what's on top, the temperature, the information that you've got right there on the side. And same thing also when we film the acceleration, it was kind of really hard to get the full visibility. So I thought it was a height problem, but really not. Some other people drove the Jeep and gave me the same comments. Another point is storage inside. Still, you can lock this box right here. Same thing for the glove box. So if you remove the top and go into city mode, well, you can leave your Jeep open and nobody will look into that since you need the key. But otherwise, there's not a lot of storage right here for your cell phone, maybe one there. There's a little bit of useless storage right here, no QI charger, another little bin under the handle brake, but that's about it. So if you go on an adventure, you want to bring some stuff along, they should have configured that console in the center to give you more. You've got also the seat base, which is kind of short, and even if everything's going to clean itself real easily inside, those leather materials are really slippery. If you're going to go for the fully equipped version, get prepared. You will spend a lot of money, more than 60K Canadian dollar. Wow, that's a lot for a Jeep. And with that high price, you've got the high fuel consumption. I would thought that they had made some improvement, but I'm not impressed. On the plus side, off-road capability, a Jeep is a Jeep. This is an impressive machine. You can remove the top, and by the way, you've got better material than ever to give you some sound and sonorization, but you will still hear some wind noise, and be careful when you put them back, because some other journalists had that little rubber pieces flying on top. So that's not great if it's raining out there. You know what I mean? So you've got the hard top, you've got the soft top, name it. That's what I like. Cool customization also. Summertime, just like wintertime, you will always enjoy your Jeep. It's well finished more than ever. The finishing inside, the exterior finishing, they made some improvement and it really shows. You've got an awesome sound system, and how about that resale value, which is impressive. when you're talking about the Jeep, an American vehicle. So are you ready for adventure? Feel free to tell me in the comment down there below what you like and what you don't about the Jeep. If you're thinking about other off-road machine, feel free also to share them in the comments. Do a thumbs up because you like, subscribe. We will have other videos soon of cool car review. Take care.